Hey, it's been a while since I've done this. All right, I'm going to get right to it. Don't waste any time. It's not going to be a very long stream. Let's get down to business. We're doing a little coding today. And what is it we're actually doing? The description touts some kind of crazy cool app. Sure. Let me show you what it does. So, this is just sort of initial version of it. It scans your whole system for all installed apps and related files, right? Okay, so you scan it, gives you a big list of everything. Now, this is ugly, isn't it? Let me change the color. Let's go table background. We're going to go black. Nice. Font size, we need it bigger. I like Tahoma. Well, let's try Veranda. How's that? Yeah, Veranda's nice, easy to read. Okay. Scan options. I don't want it scanning my backup drive, and I want all scans. All right, so anyway, all right, what is this app for? Yeah, it takes stock of your whole system and where everything is. But not just where like the apps and softwares are. It also take stock of the related files to that. And that's kind of important because last year I went through this whole bout of getting a bunch of blue screens of death, and I could not figure it out. I started replacing multiple M.2 drives. This is, of course, before the crazy crisis. But it didn't seem to be a drive issue, faulty M.2. I went as far as to run the overnight mem test 86. I don't know if you've ever done that, where you run this thing you boot off this USB and run a memory test all night. Arduous. That wasn't it. It was crashing so fast it couldn't even take one of those snapshots as crash files, or dump file, I think it's called. So I replaced the motherboard. Almost, I think somewhere in there I even did the GPU. And that was just incidental, I think. Either way, short of the CPU, I replaced almost everything. I tried different RAM. It's just nothing. Long story short, come here, culprit. Cable extensions. Let me, I have a Asia Horse cable extension. It was choking voltage off. One of the, all the rails, the 5, the 12, and I think that there's a 3-volt rail. It's choking the voltage off. And my friend was like, well, I don't keep anything on my C drive. I save all the important stuff on a other drive. My C drive is just my boot drive for Windows. So I think that means all software and games and everything. And I'm like, that doesn't seem practical for me. I want video editing, streaming, gaming. I want that coming off the C drive. And in my understanding of how PCIe lanes work, I figured that was best. But I had to rebuild the system. I basically started from a fresh install because crashes were still happening after a fresh install. That's when I started just pulling wires, and found the cable extension. Rebuilding the system is tough because after you have a system for a really long time, you end up in a place of missing all these little things that you've built up over time, right? So, you've built, let's say, open this up here. There we go. Yeah. So over time, you might have user profiles for this little app and your mouse profiles here, and where all that is saved. When you do a fresh install, and even if you try to recover, save a bunch of stuff before you do the fresh install and install it all on your new one, oh, where did that app save that thing? Oh, this doesn't look the way I left it, or oh, I need this little plug-in here and this driver here and that thing there, and all these little bits that support the larger things you do on your computer you know, that maybe after 2 years, you're like, I don't know where that was on my drive. Did I even recover that before it got corrupted? I don't know. This maps it all out. And you can kind of use it over time, and it'll just kind of save a profile, and then you can load that profile. It becomes a checklist, literally. And right here, you can see there's like, it's easy to see. There's check marks right here. Yeah, there we go. Little check marks. Be like, all right, all of this is installed. Because if you have something on here that isn't installed, it'll tell you like, hey, you need to go get this. Of course, you can just click on a link to the website and go get it, because it pulls it from that as well. And then, of course, I have the locational data. So let me walk you through how it works right off the bat. So you've done the scan. And you get all the apps that you have. Oh no. I get to start from scratch. So whether or not it's installed, there's an option for groups, which are custom. You have to do that on your own later. The version of that app, the date it was installed, how big it is, publisher, install location on your computer, and if the information is available in the app itself, its website. You also have the option for related files. Of course, I have to go into settings. Table text color. I think I need to go green. There we go. It's table text. No, it's text color. Oops, table text. Oops. Let's go a little darker. There we go. See how it just showed up there? That was stupid. All right, so then we want black for that because that's everywhere else. There we go. All right, so here's a list of all the apps, but behind them, you will find related files. Okay, so you've got preferences. You've got LUT packages. This is for DaVinci Resolve, for instance. So if you've got a sound library, a custom sound library that you had for DaVinci Resolve, it will be listed here with it and where you kept it. One, so you can go find it and back it up. Two, you can put it back in the same kind of area if that's where you'd like to save it on your new system. Or if you need to reconnect it, like you need to tell DaVinci Resolve, like with OBS, for instance, I'm streaming on, it needs to know where all the files are for all the different things. If you have a little icon for like this little transition thing, that animated graphic is somewhere on my computer. It needs to know where it is. When you reinstall OBS, you got to tell it where all that stuff is. All the scenes where I'm small or where I'm big, or all of that was saved somewhere, and it goes looking for it when you install a new OBS. Well, let's see here. Where's OBS on this list? OBS Studio. Here's all the associated files. We got JSON files. These are preferences, different scenes. If I stream gaming versus streaming this kind of stuff, there's a different scene profile I'll use, stuff like that. And I can quickly find it, go, oh, you need this, it's over here, it's over there. What? And then the third view is in the system map. It's an actual map. Let's make the background a little cooler. System map background. Let's go with like a deep blue. There we go. These are your my three drives, and then, well, actually no, 2 drives, and then unknown locations, which is kind of annoying. It doesn't know where this stuff is kept. So you have to tell it. As you can see here, if the install location is blank, it doesn't know where it is, if it's on the C drive or my V drive or whatever. Go away. So that's that. Also, these colors aren't right. Do I assign these colors? Oh, they're assigned by group. Okay, anyway. So those are the 3 main things. You got your system view, related file view, and your system map. That kind of gives you a visual layout of like, oh, these things on this drive are connected to, if I highlight it, Discord. That's not even right. That's 100% wrong. So I have to go correct that. That is not a related file to Discord. Good to know. Discord. Woo. I can right click on it and reassign it to DaVinci Resolve, and it goes and lives with DaVinci Resolve now. I can click on any one of these locations, like let's say, where do I keep Disk Genius? Or, yeah. I can open that, and it opens up my folder right away and says, oh, this is where it is. That's fantastic. I mean, if nothing else, this is helpful to find out like where stuff is kept, like a quick reference guide to be like, hey, where do I keep that stuff? And instead of digging through your folder system to find it, or searching, which for some reason takes way longer than it should when typing into File Explorer or whatever. Huh. So it's called ARC, the Architecture Rebuilding Cartographer, because it's getting the architecture of your system and mapping it out so you can rebuild your system from scratch, piece by piece, if necessary. Now, what's really handy is the group feature. You have groups here. You can create different groups. Let's go. We have one for gaming. We're going to select a group. Okay, so we're going to add gaming. We're going to add coding, because coding. Vid editing. What else do I do? Okay, we're just going to general admin. Gaming, coding, video editing. We'll start with that. So obviously Gray Zone Warfare, that is gaming. And hardware info 64. I'll consider that admin. And DaVinci Resolve is video editing. So if I go back to the system map, now you can see these have been highlighted. So you get colors highlighting different categories, which kind of makes it easier to spot things. Also, once you have everything categorized, and this is kind of handy, you can kind of ignore a lot of the stuff that it's scanned by switching view to grouped only. So only things in groups will show. For instance, it's got like all these versions of Microsoft Visual C++. I don't need to see all that. Yeah, that just came with Windows. Or came with VS Code. I'm not sure how I got it on my computer. I didn't manually install this. When did it come in? This was October of last year. Yeah, this all came in with, where's VS Code? That's interesting. There, Visual Studio, VS Code. So I installed that this year on 123. So yeah, all this must have, what's the oldest date? I built this system on October 22nd. That's when I must have installed Windows and all that fun stuff. That's interesting. I can kind of see the history of things that way. Anyway, so that is sort of, this is like the version 1 of the app. But I'm currently building it out. And this is what it looks like. This is the version I have like living inside Python right now. Everything's already video editing, gaming, coding, drivers. That was the other category, drivers. Okay. Those are important, knowing, what drivers you have, where they're installed, what you might be missing, if something won't work. What this doesn't get into the nitty-gritty for, and I guess this is kind of important for coders, is like if your pip, you have something you need for Python to work properly and everything you've pip installed. Although, let me just ask ChatGPT. Let's do it here. How do I see all tools I have pip installed? Oh, that's easy enough. Okay. Pip list. Oh, that's easy enough. I don't know if I could add that to this as well. Is that possible? Well, maybe version 1.2. We'll worry about that. That is some nitty gritty there. Or I could just manually assign the related files to, let's see, where's Python? I have two versions of Python here. I could manually add it to this list of related files. But the system map on this one actually looks cooler because it's got grouped only. So this is just the apps I care about for my rebuilding my system. And you can see that most everything is here on my C drive, except for this bunch of stuff here. I'm not even sure what, these are all config files for various apps. And I don't know, that's a good question for somebody who understands system architecture. Like, you probably don't want certain, database JSON or config files on a different drive than the app itself. Probably not. I don't know. So, but what we're doing at the moment is we're trying to publish version 1, do a first release on GitHub. I've already got the code base up there. I've got everything. It's pretty much where I want it for the first release. The only thing is this little icon right here, the logo. Shows up fine up here. But I don't know if you noticed when we ran it, like this is the first one I exported. It doesn't have that icon. It has a little feather, which is like a default little app icon that whenever you build something in Python. So trying to solve that little problem, which I kind of did. Of course, I'm not a real coder. I've got Codex, which is ChatGPT's or OpenAI's coding tool, tied into my VS Code. So I just give it instructions and it does things, which is freaking great. And it explains it, and I learn a little bit. Most of these apps that I've built with Codex, I've had to do like maybe 20% of the manual work, maybe more, because it was very limited in what it could do. It would build something and like patch something, and you would have to manually drop in the patches and then make little edits to make it all work. This now, they have an agent built into it. It'll just make all the changes for me automatically if I let it. And there's only a few manual things I've had to do because I wanted the text somewhere to be formatted differently or something like that. And it was easier just to manually do it than ask it to. Okay, so apparently it's fixed, and this is what this is here, is it fixing the icon situation. So this logo icon that I made shows up here on the real published version. So now I need it to, rewrite my PyInstaller instructions for PowerShell. Okay. And what's kind of cool about this, you can't see it because it's literally behind my head. Nope, wrong one. Gimme, gimme, gimme. There we go. You can switch between, hold on. Why is it not? There we go. Now it's, you can read it. You can switch between chat, agent, or agent with full access. And the agent works within like a virtual environment it creates to do everything and then outputs the end result. Whereas agent full access gets full access to your system and could end up deleting your whole repo. I don't know. Like you've seen those horror stories and memes about that kind of stuff happening. But like in the middle of a task, I can just switch to chat and be like, oh, let's just talk. I don't want you doing anything. Okay, agent. All right, go ahead and do that. And that's a handy little permissions difference. All right, so we're now going to publish the new version. Let's go PowerShell. I think. Yeah, I don't care about any of that. And shockingly fast for publishing an app. Last time I did like an app, like publishing with PyInstaller to an exe file, like it took a while on my computer. I had to work hard to do it. This time it's pushing real quick. All right, we are done. Let's go get it. Here. All right, arc build. This is Mark II. Okay. Cut that. There we go. And then we'll compress to zip file. Boom. All right, so let's take a look at the new one right off the bat. Good first sign is, well, let's delete the old version. So the icon is correct on the desktop icon. Good start. Open it up. Boom. It's correct right there. Nice. Of course, now what I've done is by not saving or exporting anything, the results from the last scan, I now have to start from scratch because the one that I have inside Python, you know what? Screw that. I can save a JSON file of this. I'll save it to my desktop. Okay. Scan 1. All right. Where is it? Why do I feel like it didn't save where it said it was going to save? Oh, this is old. That isn't actually my desktop. Oh, it's a cloud drive BS. Okay. Scan 1. There she is. All right. Okay. So we can now open a JSON. Everything is listed as X, red. right? It's listed as having not been installed, right? Why? Because I opened this profile that I just exported. This app hasn't yet scanned my system. It doesn't know what my system looks like at all. You have to manually tell it to scan the system. It doesn't do auto anything. But my groups are there. Incidentally, and this is kind of I know it's not annoying. It doesn't export like your color settings and your palette settings. 14. What did I have before? I had veranda or something, didn't I? Yeah, we'll stick with that. We'll do table background is black. Okay. Apply. And we'll do table text. Green. I think it's naturally green anyway because green is good, right? Installed text is one color, not installed text is another. Fine, cool, close. Scan options. We don't want my backup drive scanned. Now, of course, this app is kind of silly in the sense that, like, you can just back everything up. And if you ever lose everything, you know, you just restore it from that. Do it. But if a drive gets corrupted, wouldn't you rather have, like, basically an instruction list on how to rebuild your system? So let's go ahead and scan. Boom, everything turns green. Nice. Okay. So sort by group. See, I have all my drivers here. We're going to look at grouped only. Then related files. Now in this scan, because this is a fresh scan, and I did carry over related files. What did we see that was wrong? It's like Discord had something that shouldn't have had. Where's Discord? Disc Genius. Where's Discord? Let's search. Did I not categorize Discord? There she is. It's not categorized. Oh, no group. Gaming, coding, live stream, gaming, live stream. It's everything, isn't it? It's mostly gaming, though. All right. So we go back to related files. Discord is here. And, yep. All this stuff is all DaVinci Resolve. Reassign to DaVinci Resolve. Program data Apple Inc. Unassign. That doesn't even belong there. Discord. Okay, all of that is good. So, there we go. Hey, we have somebody hanging out. Say hi in the chat. All right, so we have successfully exported and published a version of this app. I'm excited about that. Let's go over some other features. I included a user manual, which now looking at it, it's kind of hard to. Let's go here. Window background. Let's get a little gray. There we go. So this is a kind of instruction guide for users. First one is system view, the related files view, and the system map, kind of all the different features that are included in there. The fact that, let's see here, set install date. So if it doesn't know its install date, you can manually set that. But you can't alter, wait, install date was provided by scan and cannot be edited. Look at that. All right. This is a lot of little stuff I probably wouldn't have like caught until after the first release. So after making a couple apps, I've learned to kind of troubleshoot it and try to poke holes in it and find the things that my friends would find wrong with it. Like for instance, the related files, being able to unassign them is important, or reassign them, or just kind of look at where it is. That was super important. The way this app primarily works is pretty simple. It just scans your uninstall directory for most of the stuff. And then there's something called a deeper scan. So for instance, related files, there's stuff that it maybe didn't really consider related. Let's look at DaVinci Resolve. That's control panels. Let's go DaVinci Resolve proper. All of this looks to be DaVinci related. Let's pick one that might have not. Let's say Elgato Stream Deck. What did you get? Elgato, local Elgato. Key creator, Stream Deck JSON files. Because this is one of those apps where, like, if you don't port over or grab your Stream Deck profiles before you build a new system, you're going to have to rebuild your whole Stream Deck button by button for, whatever game. So you can right click on this and click on deeper scan. A little progress bar at the bottom. She's scanning. Not really a progress bar. It's kind of a... All right, it found other files. And then you get to decide, hey, do these belong with that as related files? So Elgato Stream Deck, of course. By the way, this highlight color, awful. But because I have a window open, I can't open the settings window. Only one window open at a time. That is good to know. All right, so we're going to add that one. Add that one. These don't look like they're related at all. Ignore. So now the system will never consider those related. These are Steam related. They are not Elgato, so they should be associated with Steam. Not stream, but see how it scanned for a deeper scan and found something, it takes into account typos, which is kind of neat. So Stream Deck, add selected, Black Magic design, ignore that. So the rest of these can be ignored. And it will not consider those for eligibility to be related to Elgato Stream Deck ever again. Dope. All right. All right. So this is file shown reference. System view. Scan one. That's interesting. it's scanning the system and comparing it, but I'm still only viewing the JSON file I opened. So if I just hit scan again. If I go back here to Elgato Stream Deck, yeah, it's got all the new ones we just added. All right, doesn't change anything. So I think I still need to save that to that. Yes, replace it. Okay. My system map. Oh yeah, still gotta. There we go. And that's that. Cool. So that is the ARC. Oh, it says app scanner. I need to change that. It needs to say ARC system scanner. So this may be something that is like really only applicable to like 5 people, but if there's somebody out there who is being plagued by blue screens of death and doesn't know what to do, this could help them out. So I'm kind of hoping that that's what this does. So we've done a little bit of patching. So one thing I have to do is I have to commit this to my GitHub. And since, as I always like to admit, not a coder, I keep a cheat sheet of instructions, a little quick reference guide I made. And this is push to GitHub. Let's create, connect and push. Afterwards, here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. Git status. Git add a. Cool. Git commit m. Fix app window icon. All right. Git push. Done. All right, so the most recent version is uploaded to GitHub. And I don't think there's any reason. Let's go repositories. Arc Windows System. Yep, I think we're all good there. Boom. Let's make that more visible. So the whole code base is up there if anyone wants to play with it and create their own version. Today we're going to create a release, but first thing I need to do I think I need to add a license. How do you do that? All right. Maybe we'll do that later. Figure it all out. I don't know. But I will have the first release up there tonight. And if there's anybody who wants to check it out, give me some feedback. Oh, this is the stuff I had to manually change. This is all the, these little codes here are the little Unicode, like, let me show you. All these little icons here, these little circle, bullseye things, these little diamonds, the space in between. Like this is all raw text that's in the code base. You can see there, like all this. So I added spaces and these little icon codes and stuff to give it that look rather than just being crammed together text. I didn't explore too much how to do formatting for the instruction manual. I'll work on that next. But it allows me to kind of change it in the code base, but it also allows anybody else who messes with it, if someone, one of you downloads the repository or does your own branch of it, I don't know how it really works, and you make some changes to how this app works, you can go into, this is the main view.py, and change the instructions. Okay, so if you've changed how table interactions work, or parent row context menu, you can change the instruction manual pretty easily, so that if someone goes to help how to, it'll show up there easily. If I did it like a PDF or something, I put it in there. Text you couldn't change, it'd be annoying, I think. I also toyed around with the idea of like having the groups, to having a default set of groups, and then you can add your own custom groups. But I don't know. Everyone's different with how they, their computers and their systems, what they need. So I just left it blank. It's easy enough to make your own categories, your own groups. And I didn't want to have the app, while it's scanning, try to discern what was gaming, what was live streaming, what was, obviously something that says driver in the title is going to be a driver. Yeah, of course. That doesn't mean that it was going to work real well. I don't know. I felt like it was going to be kind of problematic, so I just left it blank. You come up with your own groups. Someone's here hanging out with us. Say hi in the chat there, yo. Who's watching? What is your relationship to coding or PC gaming or any other reason you might have stumbled onto my live stream? If it's about foster dogs, I could talk all day about that, but that is the other thing I've started doing, is making videos trying to get dogs adopted. So if you stumble onto me because of that, sorry. I know they're two vastly different categories of content, but I'm extremely passionate about getting these shelter dogs homes. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other features to add. I think I've gone through and gotten most of the little conveniences, like the areas that you can right click. View related. Oh yeah, that was another thing. So you don't want to go to related files, find that app, and isolate it. You can literally just click on SteelSeries GG, view related files, and it pulls up, it filters out that exact one for you right here, automatically up top. You see in the filter field. And then you just expand it out, boom. And all of this looks correct. Yep. Clear filter. So the map thing, I'm kind of, I don't know. I thought I'd assigned where DaVinci Resolve was saved. I had to manually go find that, which was kind of annoying. Yeah. So you can, if it doesn't have a location, you can set install location and go find it, which is nice. All right. But that is all. I doubt you stuck around and watched this whole thing, but what is it, 46 minutes? It's a lot of me rambling, I guess. Yeah. Try it out. Let me know if you like it.